What's going down? TK Pryor, Master Wealth Builders LLC, your favorite guy in a t-shirt, coming at you as a licensed wealth strategist. And you know what? I checked out a post from the University of Chicago, and it was talking about behavioral economics, the crossroad between psychology and economics. And it was, a course on higher education from one of the highest institutions in the nation. But you know what? I really want to point to the economic disparity. I've talked about this before in other posts, the economic disparity within the black community and how statistically we're moving down and backwards, right? The poverty line is around 14,000 according to 2023 statistics. And then we have the black community at around 17,000 in terms of medium income across the entire United States, not your neighborhood. So economic disparity exists within our community, and it is one of the major plagues that affects people of color. But we're the biggest consumers on the planet. So our black dollar doesn't circulate in the community at all, right? It leaves within hours of us receiving it. Whereas in the Jewish community, the Asian community, the dollar circulates 6-7 times before it leaves, right? So our community has a disparity and an economic gap between other ethnicities, and we contribute to that gap due to a lack of knowledge, a lack of education, and also a lack of caring, right? Because we know how to shuck and jive. Right? We know how to go to the club. We know how to buy clothes, cars. We know how to focus on liabilities instead of redirecting some of our purchasing power towards assets. If the black community would just redirect the money that we spend and point it towards assets as opposed to liabilities, we could turn ourselves around. We could fix our problems. Right? People talk about Black Wall Street. You have all of these leaders that get on these economic forums and they postulate different things about days of past. But the difference with the past is that we had unity and we knew how to pool our black dollars in terms of Njuma or Susu. Right? We knew how to circulate our dollars in our own community and support each other, which is what we're lacking today. So let's talk about solutions, right? I talk about solutions on all my videos. I try to present mediums that allow you to create assets by redirecting your funds. There's two methods in redirection. The first one involves sacrifice, right? If you go without for 2 to 3 years and redirect your funds to focus on assets, really make your money work for you. You know what I'm saying? You really get into passive return, you get into high IRI, and then you put mediums in place that allow you to multiply what you have, right? That's a strategy and that's a solution, right? Let's talk solutions, because a lot of the political and celebrity people who they don't touch on economics. They don't get into the weeds. How do I take you from zero to hero? And then how do I get you to be more self-sufficient, right? More economically empowered, right? So if we redirect our funds, if we sacrifice, if we actually stop focus on liabilities, if we make assets a priority in our spending, right? And if we really focus on unity, right? All of these things seem impossible because the younger generation are just trying to be entertained. They teach us how to live for today. The average person, when it comes to psychology, right? There's mental blocks in terms of self-hatred, self-loathing that prevents you from success. You shoot yourself in the foot because your fears, your blocks, your inability to read, your inability to study on your own. Somebody tells you something, you can prove the receipts. You know, you can research the background, the history, and the fundamentals. You know, you can go and figure out whether this is, you know, a smart move or whether it's going to advance you. These are self responsibilities that a lot of black people don't take. We're very dismissive. We're very counterproductive. You know, we will dance. We will tap. Yes, master. I say I do what you want. If I can get a crumb off your table, Mr. White Man, is what we are very good at. It was interesting. I saw a movie. It was it was a martial arts movie by Jalil. And it was a perfect scene. I need to record that scene and put it on social media. But it was a gangster in the hood who was trying to move up. He was amongst a lot of rich white people, and he was talking to one of them, and he basically said, "Hey, I want to pay my way into your circle." And he told him, do you invite your bulldogs to your table? He was like, "You're fun to watch with a basketball, but we don't want you eating at our dinner table. You're just entertainment." So think about that, because the stereotypes that apply to the black community are unfortunately proven by black people every single day, by our focus, our lack of ability to comprehend advanced strategy and advanced concepts, our lack of interest. You know, if someone comes to you with economic empowerment, do you pay attention or do you just dismiss it? Do you make individual choices as your household that empower you financially? You know, we're taught about on market stuff. We're taught about saving in a bank account. We're taught about 401k. We're taught, well, some people are, you know, the traditional stuff. But what about the advanced strategies that are held to the ultra rich? Do we entertain those things? Do we even research those things? I know I fought to be in those rooms so that I can figure out where to put my money and what they're doing. And I always asked, why is it that you guys, because I've been in those rooms. You know, I met a millionaire once. He said, "I've made $1 million, I lost $1 million more than once." And he said, "One thing I can tell you is own nothing, but manage everything." And then I asked him, I said, "Hey, why is it you guys don't share information?" And he said, "Why would you give gold to a fool when the fool is going to throw the gold in the trash?" So that's the state of the black community. We take advanced strategies that are relegated to the ultra rich and we throw them in the trash and discount them from whomever is saying it. I was talking to a insurance agent who was ready to quit, and she basically was saying how she's sick of black people because they will cancel a policy, discount everything you say, go to a white man and pay more for a policy from the white man. So that gets into the origin of where I started talking, the psychology of economics and how it applies to what you choose to do and not do, for that matter. Because is it that we're not mentally capable of comprehending advanced strategies? Is it that those strategies that are held by the ultra rich and excluded from our community, is it because we can't understand them, or is it because we're not focused enough to even do them? Let's talk solutions here, because I am in it for the solution. I'm in it for people making individual choices to change their own financial future and doing it by just going against the curve, going against what everyone else is doing. When do you empower yourself? By making different choices than being entertained, than, doing what everyone else is doing. The idea here is to get you to wake up, to get you to do something that's going to help you. If you focus and you actually put your money in places that multiply, then you can make a difference in your own life. Maybe not a black community, but just your life.